Okay, so it is day 104 of my 1001 albums generator challenge thing, and I am about to find out what album I am going to listen to. It's called Pelican West by Haircut 100, and it was released in 1982. Okay, so in the album cover, I see about six men lying in the ground, and it's like autumn and there's leaves. So again, the album cover doesn't really give me any context clues on what the album is going to sound like. So I think I just need to jump into it. So let's see. The first song is called Favorite Shirts, Boy Meets Girl. Okay, so far I'm loving the guitar. That's fun. Oh, wow. I did not expect to hear a trumpet. Wow. Okay, so that was Favorite Shirts, Boy Meets Girl, and I was very impressed with this song. There were so many unexpected instruments that I did not expect to hear. There was trumpets, there was a saxophone, there was even I think they're called Congo drums, like not your typical drums that you hear, but like a different kind of drums. I did hear that and I thought that was super cool. I thought the guitar was also very groovy and so was the bass, and I didn't really catch on to any of the lyrics, but instrumentally speaking, there was so much to dissect. And because Spotify doesn't provide the lyrics, I'm just gonna move on to the next song, which is called Love Plus One. Again, I'm hearing all of these unexpected instruments. I don't know what that instrument is, but I know that it's not an instrument that I hear every day. That was beautiful. Wow. Okay, so that was Love Plus One. And again, these songs are just so rich in instruments. There was so much going on with the saxophones. And we also got introduced to a new instrument that I don't know the name of, but it was like almost a tropical instrument. If I were to describe it, it would be tropical. And that's how it made me feel. And there was just so many intriguing elements to the song, and I'm having a good time so far. It's groovy, it's fun. We do have the lyrics for this one, so I'm gonna see what this song is about. I went off to the right without saying goodbye. Where does it go from here? Is it down to the lake I fear? So they said goodbye to someone, and I'm assuming is it down to the lake I fear is maybe them ending their own life? I don't know. Okay, let's see. Then I call love plus one. When I call love, give love some soul, if I may be quite so bold. Where does it go from here? Is it down to the lake I fear? Ring and a ring, and when I call love, love plus one. I have no clue what that means, but I think it's just about someone who's saying goodbye to someone else and they're really sad about it. And ring a ring, maybe they're calling them, but perhaps the other person is not answering. I don't know. So let's just move on to the next song, which is called Lemon Fire Brigade. Oh my god. I already love it. It's only 7 seconds in and I love it. I love the chord progression in the guitar. That was beautiful. I really enjoyed the role that the saxophone is playing in this song. It has a very prominent presence in this song, and I'm enjoying it. Oh my god. Okay, that was Lemon Fire Brigade, and so far that has got to be my favorite song. It was just so fun. The instruments that spoke out to me the most was definitely the guitar and the saxophone, the role that those instruments played in this song. Let's just say they got the job done. I was invested. I was jamming out. This song was just so rich in production, and it was just so fun to listen to. I didn't catch on to the lyrics, so I'm not sure what he was talking about, and Spotify does not provide the lyrics to the song, so I can't go deeper into it. So we are just gonna have to move on to the next song, which is called Marine Boy. So far, the instrument that is sticking out the most to me is the bass. Okay, so that was Marine Boy. Personally, it's not a favorite of mine. I definitely prefer the three previous songs that I have heard, but it's a decent song. It's passable. It's not bad by any means. So, instrumentally speaking, the instrument that spoke out to me the most was the bass. It played a very prominent role in the song, and I can just tell that the bass player was having fun. And I did not really understand the lyrics that much, but luckily, we do have the lyrics here provided by Spotify, so I am gonna try to figure out what this song is about. What they want for their lives, what they want for their lives. I crossed the sea in something, it's very light. What, so maybe like a canoe or a very small boat? What they want for their lives, did you glide in with great stride, taking strength from a smile, present state of marine life. I crossed the sea in something, was it nice? I have no clue what that's about. I mean, I'm sure it's a metaphor or symbolic for something, but I have no clue what it's about. I suppose I don't have anything interesting to say when it comes to my lyrical analysis today, but if I don't understand what it's about, I can't really say, you know, but I'm still really enjoying the songs, and it has been a pleasure to listen to most of these songs. So let's just move on to the next song, which is called Milk Film. All right, so that was Milk Film. Lyrically, I did not really catch on to anything, so I'm gonna look at these lyrics to see what this song is about. Where is only things that they call love, being only labeled for one time. Is it that you never fall in love? I have. I don't know what that means, so I'm just gonna move on. Riding through a parish all your life, I'll be the only one undoing what you've done. Doubt if you'll come and see what has become of me. So he could be talking to an ex lover, or he could be talking to a parental figure as well, because he does say undoing what you've done. So clearly, this person has negatively impacted his life. And, what has become of me, I'm assuming that he has progressed and became a better person after the other person left their lives. Okay. Seeing things that they might fall in love with, when will life become a major film? Calling once and call again in springtime. Grab some snow and build yourself a mountain. I'll be the only one undoing what you've done. Doubt if you'll come and see what has become of me. So he's gonna be the only one undoing what the other person has done. Yeah, again, I'm starting to lean more towards a parental figure rather than an ex-lover, but it really could be either one. Um, so yeah, that was Milk Film. The lyrics were interesting. The production was fun. So let's move on to the next song, which is called King Size, You're My Little Steam Whistle. Okay, I like that little drum solo. That was a nice touch. So that was King Size. Let's take a look at these lyrics. Bring on the king size charade. I can't seem to be foreign to your ways. So this person is not foreign to their way. So they know who this person is and how they act. It's not foreign to them. You're my little fab one. You're the only one that smiles. It hurts to fight with lies that bend my mind. King, king, king. So perhaps this person has an ego because we are mentioning the concept of a king and the king size charade. So perhaps this person is very egotistical and they like to take up space, maybe quite literally or more likely metaphorically. Bring on the trumpet brigade. Be more than my 20 miles away. You're my little fab one. Huh. So I think the person singing this song is in a relationship with this king size person and they are long distance. They're 20 miles away, which isn't really that long, but I suppose it's not close either. Okay, you're the only one that smiles. How come memories always slip away? King, king, king. You're my little fab one. Okay, so it's a love song about someone who is taking up space, metaphorically speaking? I have no clue. Or maybe the singer views the other person as like a king, because that's how highly they view the other person. I don't know. Let's move on to the next song, which is called Fantastic Day. I'm getting off the train and my lover's on my brain every day, every night. So this person has the singer has left their lover far away. They got off a train, maybe to work, maybe to go to college or something. The point is that they're far away and their lover is the only person they can think about. Okay, so Fantastic Day is clearly more of a sarcastic song. He's just talked about crying in his room and thinking about his lover, and now he's saying Fantastic Day, so obviously that has a sarcastic undertone. Okay, so that was Fantastic Day. That song is clearly about being in a long distance relationship with your lover and, dreadfully missing them. He talks about crying in his room and about how much he misses his partner several times. And he says Fantastic Day, but he's obviously being sarcastic. Production wise, I liked the role that the guitar played. It was very subtle. It wasn't prominent in the song like some of the other instruments, but it was there and I feel like it made the difference. Let's move on to the next song, which is called Baked Beans. Okay, so that was Baked Beans. I really enjoyed the Congo drums. I'm not sure if that's what they're called, but I think they're called that. I really enjoyed the Congo drums in the song. But other than that, there was nothing that really spoke out to me in this song. I probably would not go back to it and listen to it again. There's other songs that I prefer over this one, but it's not a bad song by any means. So let's move on to the next song, which is called Snow Girl. Okay, so that was Snow Girl. Unfortunately, I did not really connect with the song. There wasn't anything special that called out to me or that resonated with me. Um, it was fine. There's just better songs on the album. So far, I've been noticing that I have enjoyed the beginning half of the album much more than the latter half. That's just something that I'm noticing. I hope it's not a trend. I hope that, the preceding songs will change my mind about that. But I have been noticing that the latter half of the album, I just haven't been clicking with it. Not because there's anything inherently wrong with it. The instruments are still fun, but I just don't think they're as contagious and energetic as the ones in the beginning. I think we started off really strong, but now we're kind of mellowing down and chilling down, and there's nothing inherently wrong with a chill song or, just chilling down in general. But, I thought I'm just not connecting with the songs. That's the truth. Um, let's move on to the next song, which is called Love's Got Me in Triangles. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, with this song as well, there's nothing wrong with it, but the production is just so simple now. We were having so much fun in the beginning with all the saxophones and the trumpets and the tropical instruments that I couldn't even name. There were so many instruments being brought in. The production was so fun. There was just a lot more to notice and dissect. But with these past few songs, including this one, it's just a very simple production, which is fine. It's just not my cup of tea. Okay, at least we got the saxophone back for this one. All right, so that was Love's Got Me in Triangles, and luckily the song was able to pick itself back up at the end. I feel like in the beginning it was just a guitar and a bass, and that wasn't really interesting to me. But luckily, the song was able to pick itself back up, and we got some trumpets, we got some saxophones in the song, and instrumentally speaking, the song was fun. It wasn't the best song on the album by any means, far from it, but at least the instruments were interesting. We were getting a lot more stuff going on in the production, and the lyrics again, I haven't been able to really comprehend most of the lyrics other than Fantastic Girl. I'm pretty sure I got that song spot on, but as for all the other songs, I'm very lyrically confused. Again, Spotify doesn't offer the lyrics here, so it's really hard for me to just go off of my ears. But anyways, let's move on to the next song, which is called Calling Captain Autumn. Okay, so that was Calling Captain Autumn. I definitely enjoyed the production a lot. The Congo drums, the saxophone, it all blended very well together, so I will give it that. The song was fun to listen to. Lyrically speaking, I did not catch on to anything other than Captain, calling Captain. So let's take a look at the lyrics because fortunately Spotify does provide it. Luckily they do. So, give me a little breath. Quarantine. BCG might never rain. What is now. Hoffman style. What a great film. What a great weather style. So I'm assuming BCG is an actual place. Calling Captain Autumn. When will I die? When can I cry? FBG my TBE. No clue what that means. Give a little dream, quarantine. What a great film. What a great weather style. Calling Captain, action. So they call him, or whatever they're talking about, they call it Captain Action, but in the title, it's Captain Autumn. So I wonder what that means and how those two words connect to each other in the context of the song. And then again, he just says, yeah, 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 calling Captain Autumn. Okay, well, that song, lyrically speaking, was not very interesting, but at least it was able to pick itself back up with the very, very fun production and instrumentation. Let's move on to the next song, which is called Boat Party. Okay, so that was Boat Party. The song was fun. I didn't catch on to much lyrically speaking, but I'm assuming they're at a boat party and they're having fun. That's the two things that I did here. Um, Instrumentally speaking, it was fine. There's better songs on the album. Let's move on to the next song, which is called Ski Club. Oh, we're using animal sounds as instruments. Now that is interesting. Oh my god. There's so many experimental things going on with this song. First, in the intro, I heard animal sounds, and now I'm hearing space sounds. It makes me feel like I'm in a spaceship with ET, that kind of vibe. And so far, this song has brought me back to life. I am once again very interested and very motivated about this album. It brought me back to life. Okay, that was Ski Club, and that song has rejuvenated me. It was so amazing. There was so many unexpected things that happened in the production, so many strange sounds that I would never think to put in a song, but it just worked so well, so much better than the last 5 or 6 songs I heard by far. This song is amazing. I love it. And again, I did not really catch on to the lyrics. The only thing I was really paying attention to was the production and the instrumentation, so that's all I can comment on. Let's move on to the next song, which is called Nobody's Fool. Okay, it's pretty catchy. I'm assuming by him saying be nobody's fool is that he's not going to be a fool, a love fool for anybody. Okay, so that was Nobody's Fool. The production was catchy. The chorus was catchy. I enjoyed it. Let's take a look at these lyrics to see if there's anything that I missed. Is this just a feeling that comes between us when I see your face, when I meet your eyes? I'm a mean reflection. I can't help you to be nobody's fool. So he's talking to somebody that has a mean reflection, so maybe this person doesn't have a good view of him. It's just that I can't help you to be nobody's fool. Oh, so he's talking to someone. Apparently, this other person is being a fool, and he can't really help the other person. I don't know. When I try and I can't understand, I feel, and it's making me cry. I wander around breaking hearts every day. I feel, I just want to be your fool. So this person is a heartbreaker, but it seems that they want to be the heartbroken this time. They love this other person so much that they would want to be their fool, but then again, they contradict themselves in the chorus by saying, be nobody's fool, be nobody's fool. So maybe that's him repeating that to himself, like, don't be anybody's fool, like, don't fall for it. But in reality, in his subconscious mind, he's falling in love with this person who knows might not be good for him, but and he keeps trying to repeat to himself that you cannot be anybody's fool, but unfortunately he is starting to fall for this person. Well, times are changing, rearranging, things will turn in time. You're my painting meant for filming. Keep my soul in mind, kiss my soul in time, make the film in time. So maybe the film kind of means that it's going to be temporary, because obviously you can't film a movie forever. So perhaps the film is like a romanticization of it, of their situationship or relationship. And you know, movies don't last forever, perhaps. I try and I can't understand. I feel, and it's making me cry. And I think it's the same thing that I already read before. So, yeah, the song is about not wanting to be anyone's fool, but unfortunately, he is falling in love with somebody. And he knows that it could be to his detriment, that it's not going to be good for him, but he can't help it. Okay, let's move on to the next song, which is called October is Orange Day 1 and 2, and that is the last song I'm going to listen to because the actual last track on this album is just another version of Favorite Shirt, which is a song I already heard. So I'm just going to listen to October is Orange. Oh, okay. Well, we picked it up and now it's more of an up-tempo song. Okay, so that was October is Orange. In the beginning, the song was more of a mid-tempo to low-tempo song. It was still good. I still enjoyed it, but I was getting a little bit bored. But then the song picked itself up and just became so high tempo with a lot of instruments, a lot of energy, and it was very enjoyable to listen to. And there was even a part of the song that almost sounded like a samba song a little bit, and I thought that was an interesting addition to the song. That was amazing. I liked it very much. And that's all I have to say about that specific song. So now I'm going to say my overall thoughts on the album. And I thought this album was so much fun. The production, the instruments were so captivating. And I really just was grooving out to the songs. These songs are so danceable. They make you want to get up and dance. It was wonderful. I do feel as though the beginning half of the album was a lot better than the latter half of the album. Let me explain. Favorite shirts: Love Plus One, Lemon, Fire Brigade, Marine Boy, and Milk Film. Those songs were pretty good. I loved listening to those songs. King Size was fine. Fantastic Day was pretty good. But then after Fantastic Day, I feel like the album was kind of falling off just a little bit. Not to say that it was bad, but I lost connection and I lost interest in the album at this point because I heard Baked Beans. And Baked Beans was just not my cup of tea. And then it just kept getting worse, I suppose, with Snow Girl, Love's Got Me, and Triangles. Surprise Me Again, Calling Captain, Autumn, and Boat Party. I did not connect with any of the songs in the middle of the album. They just didn't do it for me. They were not as fun as the other songs. I think that's probably the reason why. When I heard the first 3 to 5 songs, all of those songs were energetic, they were upbeat, they had a lot going on in the instrumentation, and I suppose that's what I expected for the rest of the album. And when the songs in the middle came through, and they were not stripped back by any means, but they were just not as high energy, and there weren't as many instruments present at the same time. I would notice that maybe the saxophone would come in every once in a while, and but the instruments were not taking the center stage in the song for any of the songs in the middle of the album, and I lost interest. But luckily, I regained interest with the song Ski Club. I did enjoy Nobody's Fool. That was like a catchy song. I feel like that song could be played on the radio. And October is Orange was also cool. So the last 3 songs definitely helped recover my opinion of the album. So again, the beginning 5 to 6 songs were great. The last 3 songs were great, but it was just the ones in the middle that I didn't connect with. So my favorite song definitely has to be Lemon, Fire Brigade. That song was so fun to listen to. There was not a single second where I was uninterested. It was so fun. There was so much instruments. It was definitely my favorite song on the entire album by far. The worst song, I feel like it has to be Baked Beans, because that song kind of made me just lose interest in all of the other songs that came after it until luckily Ski Club came to save the day. So that song kind of, it was boring. Baked Beans was boring. I'm sorry, it was. I also didn't like Snow Girl. So those are probably my top 2 least favorite songs in the album. But truly, there weren't any songs that were awful. Baked Beans and Snow Girl were just not my cup of tea, but I would not say that they're bad songs. They're enjoyable songs. I can see why someone else would enjoy those songs, but I would not be streaming them. But I would be streaming Lemon Fire Brigade. That song is very fun. And my overall thoughts on the album, there's lots of themes of love. I have noticed that. And I'm pretty sure that's the primary essential subject and topic of the album. So I think that's all there is to say about it. Yeah, I definitely had fun listening to this album. It was so enjoyable. I loved it.